If I start on this side of the room, it comes out the same place. So yeah, there you go. Hello there, and today what we're going to do is create a house to go into, and then and navigate into the room, and then be able to come back out. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to first add two sprites. One's going to be the house, and one's going to be the room. So we're going to go down here and the house, grab a house. We're just going to leave it at the same place. We don't really need to change the origin. We're going to add another one, which is going to be the room down here. We're going to leave that one up there as well. We're going to create a new room, which is actually going to be our room versus the house. We're going to try to set up fairly similar. Now our room, actual room is 128 by 64, so let's 256 by 128. And then we're going to make the background black so we can see the interior much better. And we're going to change the port. I really want to keep the port the same as this one over here. Not sure why I have it this ratio, but we'll just leave it like that. Actually, let's 1280 by 720. Make sure it's correct. Not sure why I had it at that ratio. For right now, we're going to get rid of that. And one of the things we're going to do is, since we're going to keep our character between rooms, we're going to make the character, we're going to create a folder for the character so we can keep things together. A group. That way we can keep track of it later. I'm going to put the boy in here. Our movement objects. And we have that interact object. We're going to make these all persistent. That way we don't have to recreate it between rooms. And the reason why we're going to make all these persistent is because when we create the boy, we create the other objects as well, a field of view out, and an interact. And in our step event, we actually move those objects. So if we go over to the other room and they're not there, it's gonna crash on us. So we're gonna go ahead and make all these persistent. Really anything that you're gonna bring over from the other room and don't need to recreate, we're gonna put it there. So we're gonna also go ahead and create the room. Get the sprite. And we're gonna create in the house. So in our room, the room, which is a room, we're going to add a room. We're going to create another sprite, which is going to be a wall. We'll just leave it at that because it's just going to be black, and we'll stretch it depending on what we want. So fill it with black. And then we're going to create another one, which is going to be our room 2, and we'll look at 50. And we're going to create another one, which is going to be a room from. Make this one like a green. We're going to go back here and also update our block. This one here, it's going to be hard to see through it where we want the layout. So we're going to make it so when we add layouts, we can actually see through it. So for our wall that we created, we actually don't want this to be the top because we still need to actually know how far it is in the room. So we could create other rooms, multiple rooms in our if we wanted to, but we're going to set a depth to this, so we want to make sure it's the correct height. So we're going to add 30 to put it at the bottom. We're going to create this as the wall. And we're going to run on the created events. We're going to set its depth. So now we can go in here and add the walls to the front. Maybe put it down here and then move it. Go up to our object to make sure it's where we want it. So make it in the same place. And we're also now going to add our boundary to prevent the character from walking around. I'm going to put it here. And we put it in the back because it's always going to be below the character no matter what. We don't have to be exactly precise with this. So these are there to keep the character within the room. I'm also going to put an additional one there so he doesn't walk all over the furniture. Maybe there. There. So we've put the room in place. Now let's go back to the original room and put in our house. Move this down there and just keep his house nearby. And then we're going to put a block here as well, just so he doesn't walk through the house. So this will keep him in front. It'll also allow him to walk a little bit behind, but still see the character. And we're not going to add it to where this fades in and out for the character. We'll just leave it the way it is. It'll look awkward when the house keeps disappearing. So we got our house. We have our room set up. Now we need to create a way to go from one to the other. So we're going to create a room 2 object. And we're going to create a room from object. So let's create an event up here for so we're gonna, let's see, what do we want to do? We want to go create a next room, the next X, and our next Y. And we're also going to put in our global variables where we've been. Yeah, we're doing that over here. Create in our script. I guess not. Do we have any global variables? Not at the moment. So let's go ahead and create a set of global variables. And this is just to keep some variables that we might need between rooms. Um, and this is, we're going to set these in order for us to remember where we were at one point. So in our other object we're creating, which is where we're from, when we collide with our player, and we're going to go back to our player because we're using his feet as a variable. So we're going to say if our x and our y, wait, our other, which the other in this case is the boy. You know, if we're checking against ourselves. So we're just making sure the boy comes in, but now we need to know if his feet are where we want him to be. So if his feet. Okay. And it could, or we'll just, the feet are in the box. So we're going to say our room. We're going to go back to where we were. So this is where this is where we're going to put it in the room. And our other X, we're going to move his position. So we're going to move his position and move him back to where he was. We might want to, not sure if we need it at the moment, but just in case, prior view X, prior view X and prior view Y. We'll just go ahead and set those. I'm not sure we'll necessarily need them. So we'll just leave it for that. This is in this case I think we may need to readjust where we're looking at in the screen, but so we're going to go to our prior location. And so let's put this in the room. Oh. We are going to make it a lot smaller. Just need it about the size of the here. We don't need it very large. So when they walk back and he touches his room, he'll go back to the other. So now in the first room, we are going to add the room 2. Let's make it about the size of the door. Maybe make it so 1 pixel. Yeah, we'll do that. So in the room 2, we're going to take the same thing here. If he collides with the boy, this time we are going to go to wherever this room says we're supposed to go. All right. So in our room also, so what we're going to need to do is go here and click on our room object to move to, and in our creation code, let's see, where is that? For room 2. These are the 3 variables we need to set. So we're going to go to the room, and then we need to figure out where exactly we're going to go to. So in our room, zoom in, we're going to put his feet. You'll have to hold Alt down to find the exact spot. So we'll put it at 128.93. So let's try this and see if it works. character comes over here. He walks to the room. Oh, not sure how to fix that, I guess. All right, so go to the prior room. Oh, let's see. Oh, see here, when we set our variables to go someplace, we need to make sure we're saving where we were. So save location. All right, so he's gonna walk into, yeah, so here we can't walk into the room, can't walk through it. Maybe make it, change it so we don't have a shadow on the side. And then we need to make sure he can go behind it. We'll fix that. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Visible, persistent. In our room. All right, so our house, we need to go ahead and set this to the height and then make sure, like we did before, make sure we set the depth of this place. Now I want to move it. All right. So that should fix that problem. Now the problem of, yeah, now we can go behind the house, go on the side. Now I gotta figure out why. Room 2. All right, so the void's persistent. This is persistent, persistent, persistent. Go down here and make sure this is not visible because we don't need to see the exact spot. We really only want to see these when we're moving around. See if there's, maybe that's the problem. Oh yeah, so here's a problem. You may not always see it, but actually I have 3 boys in the room. Let's remove 2 of them. Go in here. Yeah, there we go. Now you can move around. It touches the furniture, but can't go past it. May need to tighten up the collision for the walls. You can't go past it, but maybe make it a little bit look nicer. So here's one thing we need to do is get this corrected. When he comes back, he's in the wall. So we're going back to the prior room. We move him to the correct place. Oh, well that's why. We need to save it before we do that, because otherwise we're updating the other. That was a pretty silly mistake. Want to make sure we don't set the other to a new location when we're trying to save where we were. So here we go. In, out. Yeah, there we go. In, out. Notice he comes, if I start on this side of the room, comes out the same place. So yeah, there you go. That I really like that. That allows us to add some interior. Maybe set up a little town for our character. Maybe do some things inside. And you notice we changed the perspective, so he goes inside, and it's more to scale, larger area. So anyway, till next time. Good luck coding.